So let's start the session. This is the beginner's guide to app development and game development. So you will be learning a lot in this session about the roadmap of app development and game development. So let me give you a brief overview about app development. So app development is divided into multiple parts. We use Android studios for app development, for native app development, and for hybrid, for multi-platform, like uh, one app for multi-platform like Android, and then we have iOS. We use React Native and Flutter, which is like give which can give you like more bugs while using it, because uh, they uh, they can have a lot of glitches, while the app development in Kotlin or the native app development is more efficient in terms of the errors and the testing. So let me start with the session. So I am Anant Upadhyay. I'm an Android app developer and game developer and an open source contributor. I have also contributed to multiple companies like Unity, and I have worked with, and I have also been credited in Unity 2022.3 version, and I am an certified Android app developer by Internshala. So we will be learning about the tools used for app development and game development. The process is almost the same, but the main difference arises in the in the technology used. We should have an idea, we should have a technology, then we should publish the game and then monetize the game. So that's about the app development and game development. So the tools needed for Android studios are for game development are Unity, Unreal Engine, Android Studios, and Game Maker. These are the four tools mostly used for game development. After the COVID pandemic, the game development field has been growing since with the speed of 20% per year, and it has a market value of $140 billion. So I hope you will be a part of it after the lecture. So Unity is the most popular game development engine, and Unreal Engine is the second most popular game development engine. Almost 60% of the games are created in Unity, while 40%, 30 to 20% are created in Unreal Engine, and Android Studio contributes about 1 or 2% of games. And Game Maker is the least used software in game development. So we will be learning both Android Studios. Uh, we will be mostly learning Android Studios because it focuses both on app and game development, as the session has the title in it. So additional tool for game development. So for game development, you have multiple parameters. Like for creating models, 3D models, you can use Blender, while you use Gibber, which is music creating platform, as you need music for games, right? Like music for implementation of games. So you can use Gibber, which is an AI software, AI implemented software, which converts code into music. Uh, so you can use it. And we have Game Bench. So before publishing an game, we should try to use it and test it. So basically, Game Engine test is the app or the game. The game. And Blender is the most popular tool for creating models like cars. You create 3D cars in games, while in 2D we use mostly the Photoshop apps to create the models, while for 3D we use Blender and Maya, so that we can create 3D models, right? So let's move. So for app development, the most popular tool is Android Studio, and it is the official tool for app development, while app development has multiple tools like and uh, Flutter and React Native. Android Studio is the most used software for app development. It is official development environment by Google, developed by JetBrains. So it is an official ID. I'll be sharing the link to the session so you can download the Android Studios. I will also be creating a game project in Android Studios in today's session really fast. So programming language in Android Studios. So basically, we use two programming language in Android Studios for creating apps or games in Android Studios, which is Java and Kotlin. So you must be thinking, which is a better language? Is it Java or Kotlin? So both has a different factor, pros and cons. So let's start with Java. Java is like contributes a lot of publishing papers in their website. So you have a lot of uh, resources to learn Java. While Kotlin has limited amount of resources as it is a new language and it is just 5 years old. But the Kotlin takes advantage in efficiency because Kotlin is most powerful language in 2023, as I said. And Kotlin has no boiler code. Boiler code means a code which is useless, which Java has a lot of boiler code. Like if you write 100 code of Java, you may end up writing 80 code in 80 lines code in Kotlin. This is the difference between Java and Kotlin in Android Studio. While you can use both of them simultaneously, as they both use Java compiler as their main source for compiling the programs. So it's your pick. You may choose Java or Kotlin according to your purpose or need. So Kotlin was launched on 15 Feb by 2016 by JetBrains, almost 5 years. So it removed the boilerplate code of Java. So that is it. So another factor in Android development is whether you will choose Android development in iOS or in Android, app development in iOS or in Android. So in Android you get a lot of audience, while in iOS you have less number of audience or the users because of the number of mobiles that people have. So Android development is more popular compared to the iOS development. While if you are working as a freelancer, if you want to work as a freelancer, iOS developer or the user has a more percentage of chance to give you money, to earn you more money. So that's why you can use iOS more for freelancing. But for Android Studios it is cheaper because you don't need a MacBook or anything. You just need any platform like Linux, Windows. So I'm using Windows, so you can download in any kind of uh, platform. So that is it. So I'm going to teach variables of Kotlin. It is important because for creating an app and games, some fundamentals are important for Kotlin. So we have variables like in other programming language you must have seen. It is similar to all, but it is more you write less code in it. So don't ignore this code. Just focus on this. We have var and val. So var can be changed, while it can be changed, while val cannot be changed. Because like for example, I have taken this example, uh, other cars, which deal with a car in a game basically. So a car in a car, uh, you can't change it further in the code. While this is the car position, so so position changes while the car moves. So we are using var in it, not val. So that's the difference between var and val. So moving to the data types, it is similar. You have seen Python, Java, other languages. It is similar to them. You have string, integer, double, float, boolean, and all, exactly same as in other programming language. But if you have experience in other programming language, it is very easier to you to understand Kotlin. If you have some experience in Java, Kotlin is just similar to Java. So yeah. So this is a structure of a function in Kotlin or method. So we write fun and main keys, then we make parenthesis. This is how we create a structure of a function in Kotlin. So these are the important callback methods for games, mostly, or an app. So on create creates a activity. So activity is basically a user interface which you see in an application. It is a component of app. So basically, uh, activity, for example, is when you open your email, you may see the first screen of email which contains a number of email. Then you have the compose button. When you click the compose button, you change the activity, right? So on when you click email Gmail button icon, it will create a activity. On start button, on start callback method will work when you start, when the progress will start. You have to write the code in it. On resume will work, like for example, when you create an when you open an email, you have number of email, as I said before. You click on one. So while the activity changes, you have to you have to pause the old activity, so that you may not overlap both the activities in the same Android app. So that's why we create on pause and on resume. You know, when we click the back button in the application, in the email, to move back to the number of emails, we use on resume button, so that it will resume again. On stop button, if you want to destroy if you want to stop an activity, like as I said, you click on the email, you move to the next, the before the first one stops, the second activity starts. So if you want to destroy the activity completely, like in some apps, mostly uh, food ordering apps, when you order a food, you move to before activity, you can't actually, because it is destroyed. On restart, it will restart again. So these are the important callback methods which are used in apps and games both. So you have to learn more about them. So uh let's move to how to publish an app. So building your app uh, after building your app in Android Studios and testing it with the targeted platform. Like if you have targeted for Android app, you have to choose the app store, like Google Play Store or any other app store. I'll show you a demo of how to publish an Android app on Play Store. So in Play Store, you need $25, a lifetime charge you have to pay in one transaction, so that you can publish any apps in it. It is very cheap compared to iOS, where you have to pay for a single app for publishment. So how to monetize an app or a game? So there are multiple ways to monetize an app or a game. So we mostly use Google Ads, which is AdMob. AdMob is most popular platform for Google Ads. So in AdMob, we are given a code in their website to initialize ad, and we put the code from the Google Ads into the Android Studios platform. And in Unity Ads, it is used in Unity game engine. So basically, as I said before, this is for game. So Unity game engine is an game engine which is most popular, as I said earlier, for game development. Here, the Unity provides its own ad revenue source, which is Unity Ads. It also gives the same code. You apply the code in the in the game, and you can publish it later. So that is it, how it works. I'll show you the demo so you can get the more clear view of what I'm trying to say. So the third way is to use the in-app purchases. You must have seen in multiple games or apps, like in Fortnite, they provide in-app purchases, which when you buy some kind of asset from them, they get the transaction. That's how the third source of revenue is for an app or in game. So components of an app. So basically, we have an activity for as in component. Activity is entry point for interacting with user. It represent a single screen with a user interface. For an example, as I have given example already of an email app, which might have one activity that shows a list of emails, another activity to compose an email, another activity for reading an email. So they have multiple activities, as I said. Although the activities work together to form a cohesive user experience, the email app. So hope you get it. So let me show you demo of how to use Android Studios in Windows. So if you have any questions, you can write in the chat box now uh, of whatever I have teach till now. So this was all theoretical work. Now I will showing how to do it practically, how to create an app practically. Yeah. So hope you can see the screen. We are going to open Android Studios. So let us wait for it to open. So you can download Android Studios from their Google's official website. So developer.android. This is the website for downloading Android Studios. You have to follow the instruction after downloading it. So you may download it later in the session after the session. So let me show you a demo of how to create an app. So yeah, here we go. Our Android Studio is open. So let me create a. You have to go in file section. You have to create a new project in it. Yeah, you have to create a new project in it. So as you can see, these are the types of activity which you can choose in default while creating an app. So you can create an app for phone and tablet, Android TV, automotive, Wear OS. These are the platform which the Android Studios offer for their application development. So let me explain you. This is the basic activity. So it has nothing, just the bar above. This is also basic activity. This is a empty compose activity, which is compose is a new technology in Android development, which creates a more efficient app. And you have Google AdMobs activity where you can already initialize the app. Here is the login activity where you can create a login page like for social media networks. You must have seen Facebook and all. The first page is the login page. This is the Google Pay activity for payment creation app like Google Pay and all. This is the Google Map activity. If your app needs kind of and Google Map, you can use this kind of activity so that if you are building, like for example, you are building a cycle app, you want to track how much kilometer has and cycle traveled, you have to use Google Maps in it. So as a new feature of Android Studios, they have offered us C++ and native C++ in their application. So we are going to choose empty activity because we will be building from scratch. So let's name the application something. I'm going to make an app. That's why and game. That's why I'm going to give like a car game. I'll show you something like that. Here is the package name. The package name is the name which it will show while you publish in the Google Play. So this will be your company's name. So you may choose according to your necessity the package name. So here is the language selection. As I said, there are only two languages available in Android Studios, Java and Kotlin. So we are going to choose Kotlin, and we are going to use the API. These are the APIs which Android Studios offer. So I would prefer to choose the API which most of the devices work with. Here, this API work with 94.4 percent of devices. So you may have more number of users in it if you use this API. But if you use more old API, you may be offered less feature, but you will be increased in the number of users which can access your a game or an app. So let's select a new API because we need new features, but we have less number. Just 94% of the devices can work with in this app. So let's finish it. So for some, it will take some time if you will download it for the first time to do Gradle building, which is building the Gradle file and all the tools needed for creating an application. So let me give you a brief overview of the all the UI and all of the application of the studios. So this is the main file, Kotlin file, where you write the code of Kotlin, the logic in Kotlin, and this is the XML file. So it is loading. If you will download it for the first time, it will take around 5 to 10 minutes, depending on your on the RAM of your computer. It is an heavy software, that's why you need at least 4 GB of RAM in your laptop. So it is taking some time to build the Gradle files. Let's wait for it. Yeah, so it is ready, I guess. Yeah, so you can see all of the uh, files and all which is given in it. So this is the project folder. Project folder, here are the all the files related to your project. So this is the Java. Here your code will be stored. This is the manifest file. So while creating while publishing an app, your app or game needs to have manifest file so that it can read the code and can execute it. It contains all the code which is needed for execution, like the package name, the target API. You don't need to know much about it because it is mostly done in default, and unless and until you are an experienced programmer, you can change it according to your needs. So yes, this is the main activity. As I said, the Kotlin file, it is under the Java folder because you can use Java and Kotlin both simultaneously, as I said. And here are the resources file. Here resources file contains all the files with the tools, with the uh, packages which you can use, like in apps and games you can see multiple images. You can use multiple UI buttons and all. You may store the pictures of them in the resources folder, and you can use in your code by referring to them by art.drawable code. So this is the Gradle script. Gradle script deals with all of the scripts which are need to be used while building an app. So this is an raw app. After building it, it will use Gradle scripts to build an APK from this raw file. So that's why we need Gradle scripts for it. But you don't need to know much about it because it deals with the internal things, default things. That's why. So in drawable folders, you can put all of the files which like your button and the car. If you are building an app, a game, you can put all the cars and all the folders. Like for a car game, like we are creating right now, you need car files for it, so you can store in it. in the drawable folder. So this is the Android manifest file. As I said, we don't need it. This is XML file. This is the like the most important file for Android development, because it deals with the front end, while Kotlin is the back end. So in the front end, you can see there are multiple constant layout. You can drag and drop all the button you need. Like you need button here, you can put here the button. You can name it anything. Here, from here you can name it start button, for example. Yeah. So like it will work like that. I have given the ID, that's why it is not changing from button to start. You can select the text and write start, so that it can bring the start button. So that's how you drop in button from it. This is an XML file, but I don't recommend it doing with dropping and dragging and dropping, because you can't customize it much right later on when you are experienced, or you go into you want to apply in a company. uh, you can't just drag and drop, right? You should know the XML, exact XML code. So from the code section, here you can see the code. You can split it. Here is the all of the front end. This is XML is an front end language for Android development. So as I was saying, it is front end, so it will basically deal with all of the button sort of things, while the logic is created in Kotlin. That's why. Just a second. Yes, this is the XML file. So this is the layout which is selected is constant layout. This is called the constant layout, which you drag and drop the UI buttons. That's why. So here we'll change it to linear layout. After changing it to linear layout, you can write code in it. Instead of just dragging and dropping, you can see now we can't drag and drop, because we are using the linear layout for the application right now. So that is it. So this is the text view. Text view is something which deals with any text which an app deals with. So here we have written by default it came hello world. We can change it to anything else. We don't need it basically, so we can remove it from this. So here we just have the button. You can after learning a bit of XML, you have to learn basics of XML, so that you can deal with all the sort of codes and the logic for the front end. But it is not tough. Most of the code are suggested after writing. Let me show you an example. Margin left, margin bottom. So you can give it a margin like 10 sp, so that it can move from here to there. Just a second. So it is already on bottom. That's why it is not changing. So yeah, that is it for the XML side. So now for the demo, I'll be creating an car game, a basic car game. So for that, I have already created an Kotlin folder. It deals with logic, because creating an Kotlin folder takes a lot of time. That's why I have already created it before the session. So I'll be using the same code which I have created before. You may you may follow me on GitHub, and I'll be sharing it till tomorrow. You can use the source code for creating your own game. So yeah. So now I'll be teaching you how to run your application on your phone, or any kind of devices which you have. First, you have to pair your device from the device section. So if you want to test your app while working on it, you have to connect it to an device. You can either connect it using a USB cable, or you can connect it wirelessly using your debugging tools. So for that, you we can also you create a virtual machine which will run a virtual phone in your computer, where you can run the app. You can select the phone, you can select all of the necessary files or the version you need in phone, like you can use pixel phone. And you can also select the operating system which is used while creating an android app. So this is it about uh, the virtual machine or the virtual system. So I'll be showing you how to create a virtual system. So uh, let's not create a virtual system because it will take a lot of time. If you want to use it, uh, you can use it, but I won't recommend using it if your RAM is like 4 GB to 8 GB, because it takes a lot of RAM. To be honest, it takes 8 GB of RAM. So you can work with virtual machine then, but we'll be using the devices which I have phone right now. I have an Android phone right now. I will pair it with my uh, Android Studios. So if you have an Android app, you should go to settings. You should go to settings. So after going to developer settings, you have to turn on the wireless uh, developer settings. So you can connect it to wirelessly by the OTP it will show. So pair device using Wi-Fi. So this is the OTP. You have to show the OTP from your. So this is the wireless debugging in these settings. So we have wireless debugging. Hope you can see the screen. You have to go to the wireless debugging and click here. You have to pair the device with QR code. So you have to then scan the code which is given by Android Studios. So I have paired the device. Let's wait to connect the device. So after connecting to the device, you can run your app. So you are done with the testing thing, because you can test your app by running it. Let us wait for it. It is taking a bit of time. Let's wait. You can't connect it to an iOS device because Android Studio just deal with the Android devices. You have to keep in mind of that. Maybe due to slow internet, it is taking a lot of time. Let me try again. I think it is not connecting right now. So yeah, So, Stephen, you have asked the question. You mentioned something about iOS that I need a Mac to do. So actually, you don't need a Mac. You need Android because it is Android Studios. So it deals with only Android applications. That's why you need an Android app for it, or an Android phone. You just need an Android device. Maybe it can be a laptop or it can be your phone. Depends upon you. So here in the history, it is showing that my phone is connected, but it is not connecting right now. I don't know why. Due to it is a new technology with wireless connection. That's why it is taking long time to connect. Let me create a virtual machine as a better option. So I hope you are learning something in this session. Hope you are enjoying the session and you stay till the end to learn about the publishing and the monetization strategy. We have more 15 minutes. We will take the session to more 15 or 20 minutes depending upon the time which uh, it is going to take. So until it is downloading, let me show you how to publish an Android app. So after creating an Android app, you may publish it in Android Studios. So we'll be using developer console. You can type developer console in your browser. You will go to google.developer.com. This is the official website of the Google where all of the Android games and apps are published from. So we go to the console. You have to choose your account. I already have an developer account. So this is all the apps I have published. I have only published one app till now. So after for publishing an app, uh, if you log in for the first time in this website, it will charge you $25 for as a one time cost, as I said earlier. So after this, you have to create app. You have to type your app name, like I was creating an Android Studio. This is an app or an game and game. This is an game. So this is free. You have to confirm all the policies. You have to agree with all the policies which they deal with. You have to create app. So after doing this, you have to publish your uh, for publishing your app. You have to put all the folders in here so that or the APK file which you create, you have to put it here, right? So the OS is done downloading. Now we are going to download the phone. Our game is going to be portrait, right? So we are going to choose the portrait mode. Pixel 2 device is Pixel 2. Let me start the device. So after you are done making your app or your game, you may go to build and make project. You can click on run button so that you can run your project in the phone. Yeah, so our device is starting. This is our device, which is virtual, which is Google Pixel. It will take some time to load. As my phone was not connecting due to an issue, I created a virtual machine so that I could run my app in it. So guys, you can ask any question if you are having, or any doubt, or any confusion, or any uh, tips you want. for Android development. So you have to start learning Kotlin for Android development. It is the most popular language, as I said many a times. So yeah, this is the virtual device we have created. It takes a lot of RAM. It is slow, but for now I have to use it because the other option is not working. But if you are creating your app, you can use your own device as the only option. So you run your app by clicking the run button. It will run in your phone. So it will gradually build the app, and it will run in the phone. And for monetization, as I was talking, for monetization we have to use ad mobs. AdMob is the most popular monetization uh, platform which you can monetize your app or game in. So you have to sign in it. You have to read their policy, how to implement uh, your app, uh, how to implement their ads in your app. So they will provide you with the code. Yeah, so this is the code for configuration of your Android app. So you have to copy paste this code. You have to put it in your Android studios so that you can work with it, right? So it will create all of the configuration needed for implementation of uh, ads from their databases. You have to initialize their ads. So these are the ad formats. You can implement a banner ad. For implementing a banner ad, you have to you click on this, but it will give you a code for banner ad. This is the code for banner ad. So banner ad is a basically ad which is shown in the top or bottom of an app, which is a really small kind of uh, app, which is very really small app. So I guess our Gradle build is in. So you can see here in our phone that our app has been generated, which we have created, just the start button. So you may use it. See this. This is the button we have created. It is running in this application. So I hope you get got a brief overview of how to do things with an application in Android Studios. So after creating, if you are working with an app, you can run it basically in the virtual machine, and you can test your app here. All of the things that are happening in the for code is also changing with the app. If you will create another button, it will also generate a button in the mobile. So you may use the same. So let me. I have the code for the game, but I guess we just have 10 minutes. So I don't think so we can create an whole game in 10 minutes, but we can try. We can create another button. This is an start button. Let me use the constraint layout for faster creation of the buttons in the front end. Yeah, this is just starting. So in center you can put your text here. I'll I- I'll hide the phone because we don't need it right now. So let me also introduce about the problem faced in the app and game development. So the most of the people face problem are the errors which they face. But the error teaches you how to generate more better code in the app development or game development. So you have to struggle with the errors. You have to learn from the errors. I believe in the practical approach for app development. You have to choose any tutorial on the YouTube or any other platform which will teach you how to create an app in Android Studios. So you can learn from them. It is a better approach. It is a faster approach rather than starting from all of the concepts of Android development. You may use the project based approach. uh, I'll also give you mm, resources which are needed for application development and which are also needed for game development, and YouTube channels which can help you to create apps and games. So we have only 8 minutes for the session. Let me address any question if you have in the session. You may ask any question. So, Hari is asking, what game engine would you recommend for unexperienced game developer? So, I recommend Unity game engine, which is the most popular game engine. As I said, I also use Unity game engine for creating my own app games. It deals with C# programming language. It is easier to learn, uh, and it is easier to create any sorts of game. So, Unreal Engine is mostly based for metaverses type of games which are popular after the COVID time. So you may use the Unity game engine for as a beginner. And can you give us a GitHub profile for the template you mentioned earlier? Yeah, I'll share you the GitHub profile as I mentioned. So let me show you the resources. Wrap up tools and technology needed, fundamental of Kotlin programming language publishing. So yeah, these are the additional resources which you can use to learn Android and game development. So this is the Kotlin's website. This is the documentation which deals with basic syntaxes and all kinds of tools which are needed to create an game. So this is the best website because it's the official website. It deals with all of the variables and everything which is needed to create an application cross platform. But in fact that Kotlin has created in a year a cross platform mobile application also, which is like more reliable. Front end web app, there are multiple things that you can build from Kotlin. So you can learn Kotlin from here to start your career as an Android app developer. And for a game developer, if you choose to be an game developer, you can use this resource. This is the official website of Unity where you can learn everything about game development for free. They offer for free courses, most of the courses, which they create with their own uh, developers. So here you can easily learn about Kotlin, about the sorry, Unity. So you as I said earlier, I'll give you my GitHub profile. So by tomorrow I'll upload the GitHub file of the game I was talking about. We couldn't create it today because we had limited time. So you may use the my GitHub profile to create your own game. So thank you for the session. This is my GitHub profile. You may use it uh, to access my code which I'll be creating for game, and all of the game which I have created, I have published my code in GitHub, so you can use it for your games too. It is open source and it is free to use, so you can use it. So I hope you learned a lot during this 50 minutes. And again, if you have any question, you may write in the question section. So yes, thank you for your time. uh, Hope you enjoyed and learned a lot about game development and app development. And you can follow me on LinkedIn and GitHub. I'll also share the slide which I have used, so that you can download all of the tools needed. In the chat section I'll put. So here is the Google file of the docs. You can use it. Whatever I have whatever I have given the information for, you can use it. All of the resources too. So please do use my resource. Thank you for your time. So let me stop this. So thank you and bye bye. I hope I see you in my next session in Code Mentor. If you have any question, you can answer. You can ask in 3 minutes. We have more 3 minutes to go, or else I'll end the session.